Welcome back, everybody, to Warlord of SBAS plays Torment, Tides of Numenera, episode 117. Last time we went through this door and discovered, basically what happened just before we existed.
I thought you were on a mission.
Anyway, we went through there. Then we talked to the changing god Spectre, because apparently the actual changing god died, which is interesting. So let's go in here, where we last off. Pulsing waves of heat roll down the stairs, and you hear a low, continuous whirring that's somewhere between a sound and a melody. The door is singing, as though welcoming you back. Even in this low light, the wheel of the bottom of the door is fairly glows. You feel your palms tingle at the sight of it. Something clicks in your mind, and the door answers. Hidden gears spin behind this cage. The door is opening for you, and you alone. Okay. You can use certain items and abilities even during their conversation or when interacting with objects. Ooh. The sorrow. Wow, this is interesting. The sorrow is here in its full power, wearing the and quiet psyches of its victims, like a tattered cloak. The filaments of light and energy leak from it, strange colors that correspond to no ties. You know, its tendrils flutter and flip it in a unseen breeze. You come before me at last, yet we have met so many times before. His voice is a hissing multitude. One voice stands atop the rest, a woman's voice, soft and deep. It gives me no pleasure to meet you in this place, but you and your kind have left me no choice. Everybody your sire creates abuses those forces you call the tides. They draw energy from those around them. In so doing, you weaken the seals of an energy you do not comprehend. You increase the amount of suffering in the world. Every attempt at mitigating the damage has failed. Every step results in misery. You are the first in millennia to hear me speak in embodied language. You are persistent, tenacious, and durable. And so perhaps words will suffice where destruction has failed. It is time to bring this experiment in immortality to a close. While the creature speaks, its thoughts assault you, crushing your mind in an alien embrace. It takes an extreme effort, the will to shut them out, just so you can speak. How have the tides increased suffering in this world? The tides themselves do not cause suffering. Rather, the abuse of them in your bodies your kind has wrought torment in the world in the name of endless life. You bring pain, large and small, deliberate and inadvertent. Without you, the endless battle would never have raged. Without you, the children of the endless gate would not have terrorized the world. Betrayals, slaughter, and bloodshed are the hallmarks of the castle's wake. The sorrow is silent for a moment. Then your sister, the slaver Talmagar, cast her suffering into the child Rin, though the girl had done her no harm. Your sister Medikina took her adoptive father's eye, and though she mourned, she did not change her ways. Even the saintly Adrelius brought torment in this world. She thought she drew my attention when she lashed out at me in Malafast. No, she was already marked. In her body, your sire brought the jagged dream to Scissor Cliff to foment strife. Adrelius rejected them, but chaos and misery trail even in her passage through the world. Cast off bring pain. I'm just trying to stop the abuse of tides. Are you? We shall see. I know that they say of me, destroyer of civilizations, death's mistress, soul taker, ender of the circle. Yeah, I have no pleasure in destruction. My pursuit of your kind has been solely a matter of expedience, but you have come this far. Despite my attempts to stop you, I will give you a last chance and an alternate solution. When Adreus asks you what one life matters, you reply that each life is important. A word of potential. We shall see if you will stand by those words. What is this place, anyway? This place is the central chamber of the collective mind space. It is the resonance, the truer expression of which your resonance chamber was but a shadow. In this place you touch the knowledge and strength of every cast-off ever created. Why are you here? When you escaped me on the moon, I placed a piece of myself here as a last resort. I have written here in your mind since then. Indeed, I could not have found the moon had you not returned to it in the beer, bringing me along with you. I called myself to myself in that reality, breaching the station's defense. Defense is too close to the loop of time. Too close to the loop of time that brought me here. All to ensure that the power of the resonance is not abused. That your kind does not worsen the world again. What are you? I am a guardian, a protector, a legacy of a forgotten people, tasked to watch every over that which they fail to defend. I convince the spectre the changing God is dead. I convince the spectre that the true changing God is dead. Is that true? It is late to speak of the truth and identities. The one you called the spectre was the embodiment of the changing God's life and memories. When you convinced him he was dead, that became true enough. All that remains of the changing God, all that he is and was, is here now, in the labyrinth. Adria said she never used tidal surge in her life. How did she abuse the tides? The surges are no one manifestation of the suffering, but your kind drew and distort the energy of the tides at a level you cannot understand. Her passage left lovers squabbling, children crying, and conflicts escalated that might have been avoided. Though she suspected that this truth and sought the shelter of Malefaust, even she has been the author of invisible miseries. Every one of you is the same. So what happens now? It's up to you. The question is, with what purpose have you come? No, it's not the hunting that I'm really concerned about. And those, I came here to end the tides abuse caused by our bodies. If you speak truly, then your purposes are as one. My sire believed that subsuming all the cast up into himself would stop you from hunting us. Is that true? It sounds almost thoughtful. Perhaps. For a time, if he could resist making no further cast-offs. But I have trailed him across the centuries, and I know that he could not resist the lure of new experiences. So too strong for him to resist. He would awaken me again and again. I believe that, actually. The verse says severing the connection between us and that would stop us from hunting. Stop you from hunting us. Is that true? The connection of which she speaks is the labyrinth itself. You would no longer draw your power from this place. My pursuit of you would cease. Your sister's solution would have shattered this place. Would have destroyed the tidal seals and that protected the populace from the madness. My charter is to guard these seals, to protect the energy. Had her plan actually worked, it would have destroyed the minds of thousands. I could not allow that to occur. Alright. Is there another way to sever the tidal connections? The resonance chamber was a blunt instrument. Alone it would have shattered and destroyed the labyrinth. Resonance, however, is a sharp edge. It can sever the connection cleanly and without harm, eliminating your kind and the threat you pose to the integrity of the tidal energies. It is the wise choice. What if it casts up subsumed into someone else, someone who wouldn't perpetuate the cycle? Could you find such a person? I would consider it an ideal solution, yet consider this space. The summer's orbs sweep across the resonance, strangely a flutter, their movement bending your perception. This is a space too large for any mortal mind. Even one fractured through reality cannot hold it all. Only someone already attuned to the labyrinth might successfully contain your minds. Only one of your kind. You said someone attuned to the labyrinth could contain the minds of the cast-off. Does that include Mika? She has no body, but if you were to allow her to rise to the surface of your mind, to take your body, then it would be possible for her to absorb these experiences. Though I do not know if it would cure the illness that spurred her father's experiments. Excuse me while I take a drink. Let's see. What if I just want everything back? Excuse me. Yeah, what if I want everything back the way it was? Is that possible? He considers your words, teasing out the ramification. At last it speaks. Yes, you and your kind can continue to exist, and I will continue to hunt you down. The ever-present looming specter of your mortality, erasing you from history one by one. I will allow this? Seems like you'll allow me any choice I make. What will you oppose? It hesitates as if not sure it should impart this information. The resonance has the power to combine this and sever, and to remove the protection over the ties entirely. Doing so will unflutter a truly dangerous force, imperiling the land and the psyche landscape for millennia. I cannot permit this choice, and will resist it with all my strength. Remove the protections? Protections like you? I am part of those protections, but not the only part. The released tidal force would flow across this territory, devastating the mental landscape. Many would suffer serious damage to their sanity, and others would find travel through the resilient psychic pollution impossible for thousands of years. It draws itself into a more sinister form. This I will not allow. How do I choose? I have entwined myself through every piece of this place. It is mine. Tell me your choice and I will make it reality. If I approve. If you'd prefer that we all die, Why don't you just sever the connection? I have manifested here, but I do not control the resonance itself. I am the lock on the door, while your thoughts are the key. Your will remains prominent in its place. I can resist your choice, but I cannot make the choice for you. Tell me again. I can really... Is this just like a reset of the game? Right here? Huh. What if you don't approve my choice? Then I will oppose you with all my strength. That is why I am here. Tell me again. I can control... I can really set everything back to the way it was when I was born. You will remain my prey. It is not an ideal solution, but it is not one that I will oppose. So I have the option of putting everyone back into my mind. Everyone survives, or the ghost lady takes over. I can sever connection to the cast-offs, which would destroy everything and cause severe amount of damage. And I can reset everything. But I don't want to do that either. That's like a reset of the game. It ripples in the mental breeze that flows from the confines. Await your decision. So there's actually a lot more choices I have. Let's see. I can merge. Cancer. I will sever the title connection to use your influence on the world. No. None of these choices are right, and I have no right to choose the fate of so many. I want to return everything to everyone in the way it was. No. The only one blameless in all of this, Mika, the mortal daughter of the changing god. Murder conscious into her, she'll live out her days in my body. No. Not the eldest sister. Authority. Sorry, I will use the resonance to destroy you. And also will be free. No. Honestly, I think the only real choice I can make, since I'm playing a good character, is this one. Only one blameless in all of this is Mika, the mortal daughter of the changing god. Merge your consciousness into her, and she'll live out her days in my body. Her? Yeah. You choose the catalyst of this whole situation to survive. She is not blameless without her. Without her, we never have attracted the sorrow's attention in the first place. She has been dead for centuries, you fool. Give the gift to the living. Yes, maybe that's true, but she did not make that choice. Her father did. She is blameless. The sorrow pauses evaluating you. You have lived your life compassionately and with sacrifice. The answer does not come as a surprise, though your willingness to sacrifice the lives of all your siblings does. Tell me, why have you made this decision? She had nothing to do with this situation. She is innocent in all of this. It was the changing god's fault, not hers. I can't blame the victim. She laughs. You're asking me to accept oblivion for the sake of a girl who has been dead for centuries? You want me to set aside all my history because you want someone else to reach her potential? She taps her foot thoughtfully. But isn't that what we're all doing? Aren't we all trying to make a better world for someone else? She throws her hands up in the air. Fine, give it to her. I don't care. You convinced me. Kill us all. A fair answer. If this is your choice, then we shall commence with the solution. shiny. The star stretches its arms. Prepare yourself. The love that dances through your form coalesces. The tormented minds that hung within it begin to stream away, drawn to some hidden singularity at the heart of the chamber. The sorrow dissolves, thread by thread, into the invisible whole. Discording into the lattice, I ring a nearly comprehensible language of symbols and thoughts, linked to a proposed bear. A pure white light grows at the heart of the resonance, reaching towards you. A light envelops you in the soft embrace. The walls of the labyrinth collapse around at you. You and the other castle become the singularity. In your minds of the castle trickle toward you a stream, a torrent, a flood, a tsunami of experience and memories that stretch across centuries and worlds unimagined. And you remember it all. You remember it all. The pain, the tragedy, the suffering, the triumph, all the notes and dreams of countless others trying to leave their mark on the world. Let the memories come. The turn continues as you surrender control. The memories of the castle you have met, the ones you will never meet, fill your mind and overwhelm you. You taste their bitter notes and their sweet in their knowledge of solitude and their death of their friends. Every life, every love, every enemy. The first kiss, the first broken heart. The triumph of justice served. That thrill of revenge. Realize. Sadness, joy, fear, anger. The secrets hidden and the truths revealed. Other memories and hopes congeal and compress, joining yours. They overwhelm you. A rising tide of demands and wheels honed by centuries of life, drowning you within them. You surrender your identity, sinking into the resonance, and they sink with you, combining into a single sweet note. And then the memories are gone, as you strain into Mika's mind and memories, filling her with the wisdom and experience of your lives. You shut your own sensation and thoughts, and you shout out sensation and thoughts, coiling in yourself like a flower returning to its seed. And then a great radiance surrounds your mind, encompassing brilliance. You slip into oblivion, secure in the knowledge that some fraction of your life continues on. I thought that was the end of the game. When you open your eyes, vertigo assaults you. Seals you. The star hovers out here, its tendrils coiling and twisting. You sit up, the torrents of battle surrounding you, but you feel a quietness in your in the room. A lack. It takes you a moment, and then you realize the first is gone, as are all of her allies. Not just dead, but vanished entirely. The world is familiar, but you are seeing it through new eyes. You feel your consciousness slipping away, as if sliding under a tectonic plate. You are becoming Mika. The resonance is sealed. The tie is gone again at rest. Your father's final vessel has restored you to life, and all the castles are a part of you now. Your journey is concluded. What happened to my father? Lost child. He spent his years trying to restore you to life. He has succeeded, though at the cost of his own. Sorrow pauses. I caution you against an attempt to restore him. Let the legacy be manifest in Let his legacy be manifest in your person. What happened to the last cast-off? He chose to give his life for you. He allowed his mind to join those of his siblings in the resonance, and they created the foundation for your new life. Turn to the companions. What will you do now?
Do? My dear, I don't intend to do anything. It is clear to me now the lengths I must go to in order to preserve my spirit beyond death. and it strikes me as somewhat laborious. Wherever I go, it's clear some changes are in order. You showed me that much, or some version of you did, at any rate, and for this gift I shall be properly grateful, though you will, of course, excuse me if I choose to take my leave.
She sighs, tugging ruefully at the sleeve of her dress.
If you need me, I'll be here, lass. Otherwise, I'll be looking for some distance from this whole mess.
Yeah, I can't blame you.
Do? Now? The now has never felt so much like an end until, well, now. I suppose I could find another beginning? That's what I'd like. Saving the world for someone else.
Go now. Choose a wiser path than your father did, and we will not meet again. Sorrow fades into the air and then it is gone. You look away from the deceased patch of air, but this place is no much better. You are surrounded by blackened bloody rubble, by death. It is time perhaps for some fresh air. Taking a deep breath, you set off. The daughter of the Chained God set out into the world. The daughter of the Chained God set out into the world he had, without knowing, made for her. She traveled into in the body that had once belonged to the last cast-off, and with a mind forged by sacrifice. You were remembered by your great acts of compassion and sacrifice. For years to come, tales of your life inspire the people in the Ninth World to follow the murmuring of their conscience and protect those who could not protect themselves. Oh, we're at the end. Huh. Algren, we get little tales about side characters. Sweet. Algren sought out seconds outside the city of Six Cliffs. Got him to unlock the secret code that would free his people. He returned to Orman with the frame. One by one, he pulled his tattoos free and cast them through the black metal portal. His friends emerged on the other side, dazed and shocked by the long years of imprisonment in the alien's Algern's mind and body. They suffered no lasting damage. Over his remaining years, Algern learned to understand the frame and its God damn it. I was reading that. I'm assuming it was that. That become a blah blah blah. Says she wandered into the desert. Says she was found dead in the streets shortly after the most recent plume quake. I don't know. Seeking a way to atone for his failures, Tiber left Sigis and Bloom behind and traveled to the nameless village, where he and Blah were once broken each other's hearts. To his surprise, he found the village that were still there, and the noble that had tried to drive them away had been killed by a large masked man many years ago. To his credit, Tiber did not lie to them. He told them who he was and what he had done, and he swore to protect them in of his days. He did, and the village forgave him in time. Later, they respected him, and then he died in his sleep decades later. Here it is. So after his own blazing upright as a comet, and yet the cloud of nano demons had not exaggerated the cost of his hero's increased power. Soon Iridos was limping, then crawling. A week later, our traveler found an unbreakable straw-haired stranger lying dead in the road. He did not have a single wound. A single glowing flake marked the corner of his mouth. Light-footed footprints, the coarse feet were clean and bare. The traveler noticed wounded, or whatever the being truly called itself, wandered off into the pathways of the labyrinth. Well, the last cast off confronted the sorrow, and was never seen again. Whether it died there or found a strange door to a strange place, none can say. Ren returned to her world content. She had rescued the one who had kindly rescued her, and in so doing, she brought her closer to a significant part of her life. She would never forget the last cast off. As for the rest of her story, it is yet to be written. As it returned out, Blood excelled in the order of truth. He read everything anybody would give him, tried everything anybody would let him try. In a few short years, he was well versed in all matters of Numenera. He became Aeon Priest in less than a decade. Now he is from Min's position ahead of order. The main insidious cliffs, as for many years now, an employed artist through her sculpture never saw very well. Blood found her work on Underbelly as a scavenger for the foreman. His father, Blood, returned to Bloom finally. He was proud of what his children had become. The three of them lived hard but joyful lives together. Oh, cool. It's about the kids. The veterans of the Fifth Eye enjoyed the tyrant from the Second Wars. They drank they laughed, they told the same tales anyone would listen, until one by one their minds faded, and soon there was only Zeva, drinking with her friends by herself. Oh, that's sad. The tiny construct children of the crippled foreman scattered throughout the city and began building things at random. Much to the consultation of the master foreman. Finally, the master foreman called for his workers to bring a small construct to him. He was surprised at how much they had grown. Apparently, they had been building themselves as well as random pieces of the city. The new constructs themselves are treating them as he does his human workers, although it is clear that he favors them more. What's unclear is how well they will continue to follow his instructions. The quakes beneath this cliff ceased for many years, despite Blood's concerns that without leverage over them, the sister would return someday. She would stand in the square most days, preaching her fear for whomever would listen. One day, Blood announced that she had evidence that Chisa had returned. She called for a group of brave souls to follow her beneath the city to stop them before it was too late. Several of her bravest listeners followed her into the dark. Nobody knew what has become of them. Probably died. While the Endless Gate closed, Ronos and the other surviving memorialists were able to clean and rebuild. There were so few of them left, so it took months before the last of the blood was removed. He used several different barrier ciphers to block the tomb that had held the Endless Gate, in case something else ever came through again. They never did get rid of the smells. Nope. The room was relatively quiet for days after the Starwood attack in the Menvora fortress. Nearly all the Menvora soldiers had fled, and the rest of the Bloom's deserts waited quietly, wondering what would happen when the Menvora did not return, and nobody rose up to take her place. That's when the fighting began. It started with the mutants of Little Nihilers, but soon every faction was involved. The Bloom became a deadly battleground. One the Bloom itself seemed to encourage gorging itself on loss of its denizens. Belska harbored a small contingent of civilians inside the fortress, hoping that the violence would not die down. They are still there, hoping. Katia worked hard in the Bloom flesh shop. He never grew quite as skilled as the Bloods, and he had enough skills in his own right. Eventually, he expanded their service to woods and metals, and became sought after as carpenters and engravers. Sometime later, he left the Bloom to make his own way. He started a shop to circus miner, fashioning Numenera into polished tools. He made names for himself in the same way, in some small way. Blood and his troop remained in the slums, free from desire of the mob. Blood became more joyful, friendly, even. He drank less and extorted less, and though he still extorted, of course, man got to make a living somehow. When the troubles in the Bloom started, Blood and his men barricades Blood still there. The Bloom itself tears down every barricade they erect. They typically build another one, making sure the slump at least remains safe. Oop. The ruins of Melavas's lie broken and untouched. It is more than a century before a group of explorers stumble upon them. Wonder what happened to this place. What's nice world to have ceased so much destruction. Well, I guess we're done with this game. So look forward to a new game I'm going to play. I'm not quite sure which game I am going to play, but it should continue right after this one. So until next time, Remember to press the chaos, or you're gonna go mad. Bye!